Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Friday's Adventure. Good morning everybody. So today I have to do an oil change on Jamie's car, and she recently just did a trip to Orlando and back. We went down there for a wedding. She came back with her parents. My job, which I haven't told y'all about, I met her down there and then left after they did. She came back with her parents, stayed a couple days, went back down to drop them off, and came back. Due to all that, and due to the fact that she's late on an oil change, so I wasn't able to check her car, she now needs brakes. I've known she was gonna need them, we just weren't sure how long it was gonna be, and apparently 2 trips to Orlando back to back pushed the car a little too far, so it's grinding. They're really thin rotors, so I just went ahead and bought new ones, new pads. I am going to double check that the rotors are right before I even try to put them on, but right now I have these Duralast ceramic brake pads, and then I got the rotors 72015. This is a 13 Chevy Cruze. So we got these, and again I'm going to double check them before I put them on the car. AC Delco oil filter 2257, you can see right there, and then I just do high mileage. I am going to knock out her oil change. You don't see me do oil changes, it's nothing new. Drain plug is a 10, lug nuts are a 19, I do believe. I don't know if I've done her oil change for y'all before, I can't remember. So one thing about her car that's different is the stupid oil filter. So a lot of these cars, the Cruzes, I think the Impalas and Malibus, and just pretty much anything that's got a 1.4 will have more than likely this filter right here, right there. So they make a special socket for that. If you use a regular socket for that, please be careful. Use a 6-point, not a 12-point, and try and use like a mid-well, just so you don't round it off. But be careful, because these like to break, and then you won't know it, but right here is the oil filter, and these lines right here are coolant lines. This plastic piece right back here that they connect to, this one, and this one are connected to right here, loves to break. That is a common thing when I was at the dealership that I saw happen on these 1.4s, so just be aware of that. Another common thing with these 1.4s is they like to leak oil, but I have already taken care of that because it was leaking so much oil it was causing issues. So I've already replaced her valve cover. Oil change is oil change. I've told y'all the stuff that's different with hers. I'm not gonna record that. I'm just gonna record me doing the brakes. So let me knock that out real quick, and I will bring y'all back once I'm ready to do the brakes. All right, everybody. So I'm sorry, I forgot to grab the camera once I started this. Take the caliper bracket bolts out right here. You don't want to let your caliper hang by the hose. You can break it. You can use a hanger to support it, but I have a special tool, of course. Here's the hooks. I got them from Matco when I worked. I don't remember if it was Firestone or the dealership. But let's see, will they fit through here? No. Alright, so we're gonna hook them up there. Just like that. To press your piston back out, you can either take your inside brake pad, set it there, and then grab you one of these. This one here, you just screw out, set in here, and then twist it back in, and it'll push evenly because you have the pad here. It'll push evenly against that and push the piston back in. Now, not all brakes have this piston. Some of these newer cars, it's a twist style. You have to twist it back in, so you have to buy a special tool for those. Pretty much, if there's not a hole straight through the middle like this one is, well, it's not all the way through, but there is a hole. Let me see if I can show y'all. There you go, that hole right there. If it doesn't have that hole, more than likely you don't have those brakes, or you don't have this style brake. But I really like this one for this style. It's basically the same thing. This is your brake pad. This is the middle plate here, but you close it. Oh, I might not be able to use it. Oh no. Yep, can't use it. It's too small of a caliper, but I like this one better. So we're doing it this way. Set this in. Try and get it as center as you can so it's pressing evenly. And then twist slowly. You do not want to do this quickly. So take your time. Press slowly. You don't want to bust a line. And you don't want to cause problems. And with a handle this small, if it's hurting your hand and you don't like it, what I've done in the past is I'll take just a wrench. This is a 10mm, and I'll just use it. But again, keep it slow and keep it as centered as you can. Alright, I need to bring something up to y'all because it just happened to me. And I said it earlier, but I need to really emphasize it. Make sure it's straight. Now, I thought mine was straight, but I had my pad riding up against this. So I don't know if y'all can see it. I think you kind of can. There's a lip here and then a lip here. Because I had this pad riding all the way down here, I was getting resistance. So I pulled it up a little bit, centered it on the piston, and I was getting a lot of resistance. But now that I picked it up and it's more center, there's no resistance. So it's compressing the piston more. So just make sure it's in a spot where it'll go all the way in. Alright, so I hit a lot of resistance, so that means it's in as far as it's gonna go. You wanna make sure when you're doing this that this boot folds in correctly and there's no pinch in it, because if you pinch that boot, you are going to have a brake leak. Looks like mine folded in well, and it looks good. So now I'm gonna hang this back up. Oh. Alright, I had to get my bigger ratchet. Leverage, people, leverage. If you've got it, use it. Sorry, headphone users. Ooh. Alright, one thing I learned the hard way when I first started doing this kind of stuff, when you take these caliper bracket bolts out, don't take them all the way out before you get the other one loose, because all it's going to do is cause you a headache. Because what it'll start doing is, like if you take the top one out before you take the bottom one out, it'll pivot as you try and break it loose. So I'll show you what I mean here in a second. So, you know, lefty loosey, so you're beating on the thing this way, so all this is gonna do is pivot like that. Woo! Look at that. Yep. Alright. So take these off, but do not throw them away yet. Sometimes the new ones won't fit right, so hold on to them. And you will have to clean those up. You'll probably have to clean this up too. I'm probably going to. Alright. So I've got rotors. I'm not turning them. I know there's a lot here, but I don't have access to a brake lathe anymore, and I don't trust part store idiots, so I just decided to replace them. That way I won't have to worry about them for a while. Hopefully I can get a cheap used lathe at some point. Let me grab my impact screwdriver. So I got this set, I don't remember from where. It just has a bunch of these bits that pop into this socket. I actually think it also came with some that aren't interchangeable, like it's attached to the socket, but this was the first one I could find. It was already attached. I think it was from a lawnmower I worked on that it was already here, but it fits. And I was lucky enough that all I did was stick it in, put a little pressure, and it came loose. So I got really lucky. That's not always the case, especially older vehicles, especially up north. It just causes a lot of problems. I've actually broken some off before. Alright, that's what I said. Rubbers, I am. Double check it right. Alright, so with new rotors, they come with an oil film on them to keep them from like rusting during shipping and storage. So you want to get you a can of brake clean and clean them off, and then wipe them dry when you first put them on. That's right. Alright, so like I said, keep your hardware because this one did not come with it. Figures. I didn't buy the cheapest. I didn't buy the most expensive. So hopefully these are right. Let's see. There's a difference. Alright, so there is a difference. Metal tab, no metal tab. Easiest way to figure out which is which. See this loop right here? That means it was on the front of the, that means it was on this side. So I'm more than likely going to guess the one with the rivets. But just to double check, you grab your other one. Oh look, middle tab, and there's a ring from where the caliper piston was pushing. So guess what? Back front. So I've collected stuff over the years, so I have a lot of stuff. This is silicone brake lube. What this is used for are these slide pins. You always want to lube these, because if you don't and they get rusty and lock up, you're gonna chew through your brake pads, and it is gonna be a pain trying to get them back out. Ask anybody from the north. They might lube them, but I swear that salt does something different up there. And like I said, I have extra stuff. So blue Loctite, not red, blue, not red. Oh, click, click. So you want to make sure these aren't dragging, because if these drag this rotor, one, it'll mess up your rotor, two, it'll squeal like nothing you've ever heard. Excuse me. Copper. Click. All right, now I'm gonna go do the other side. It's the exact same way, just you get a different perspective. So I'll be back with y'all once I'm all done. All right, everybody. So brakes and oil change is done. Now I gotta go drive it, do the break-in procedure, and my lovely wife be good to go. So I want to thank y'all for joining us on another Valdez venture. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. Join us next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you would like to. I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a blessed day.